Hey everyone! This week I decided to paint some studies of horse eyes with watercolors. I found it quite challenging. The medium I'm most proficient at are colored pencils, and I would have no problem making those eyes very detailed with them, but with watercolor it was a different story. At first, my plan was to paint only the first big eye, but after I finished it, I decided to add two more as it didn't turn out perfectly and I wanted to practice a little more. Also, the page looked quite empty. So, with this first eye, I struggled a lot with the coat color. My reference was a horse with dark bay coat that was a very cold shade of brown. So the highlights had a weird color that I didn't know how to get. I started with quinacridone gold for some reason and then I mixed some light brown. I have no recollection of which color I used though. Then for the shadows I mixed darker, a little bit greenish bluish brown. The shadows seemed similar to the real color, but I didn't feel like those colors complement each other. It all looked like something was wrong. Anyway, for the eye I also started with quinacridone gold and some burnt umber for first shadows. By the way, I'm using Roman Szmal watercolors. If you'd like to know more about my set, which colors I have, you can find that in my video about unboxing and swatching them. I will link it in the description. I do not, however, have burnt umber from Roman Szmal as I did have it in my previous set from Talents Van Gogh, and this is what I was using to paint this horse coat. While painting the eye, I made sure to leave blank space where the eyelashes are. I generally kept enhancing the shadows back and forth. I also covered the iris with warm reddish color, but this was too strong, so I decided to leave them some of the pigment with a tissue and added more mild orange color there. The next two eyes were much smaller, so they were easier to handle. Similarly to the first eye, I added water first and then the first wash of color. It was mostly burnt umber and then I probably added some blue to make it a little bit darker. The area around the eye was black, so I started the first layer with blue paint. Waiting for it to dry, I enhanced the color around the eye with reddish brown. I also covered the whole eye with the same color as the coat. Here I also made sure to leave some white spots to show light reflections. After the first layer, I kept adding shadows to the coat with brown and to the eye with darker and darker blue. The pupil was also made with blue, mixed with a tiny bit of burnt umber. Finally, I added some eyelashes with small brush, and what is an important detail, I made sure to paint the shadow that eyelashes cast on the eye itself. The last eye started with quinacridone cherry color. This is my favorite eye because there is a beautiful contrast between the red coat and blue eye. To make the brown darker, I added dioxazine purple to burnt umber. It created this nice cold brown. The eye was painted firstly with light blue, and then I was adding layers of basically the same colors. The pupil was made with burnt umber mixed with dioxazine purple as well as the area around the eye. I definitely learned a lot painting those eyes. Each one was easier to paint than the previous one. Let me know what you think, and if you liked the video, please leave a like and maybe consider subscribing. See you in the next video. Bye bye!